Hey everyone, Jeff here at StopThePirates.blogspot.com. I want to talk a little bit today, December 2nd, 2016, about debt elimination using a UCC 1 financing statement. So, to begin with, on May 23rd, 1933, Congressman Lewis T. McFadden, is a Republican from Ohio, chairman of the House Banking and Finance Committee, brought formal charges against the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve Bank System, the Comptroller of the Currency, and the Secretary of the United States Treasury for numerous criminal acts, including but not limited to conspiracy, fraud, unlawful conversion, and treason. To protect themselves from these charges, both the House and the Senate on June 5th, 1933, passed House Joint Resolution 192. It provided that the people who had delivered their gold to the federal government following the illegal proclamation by President Roosevelt would be exempt from paying any of their debts since their means of payment, their substance, had been taken from them. House Joint Resolution 192 provided a remedy for a crime, and it had to, because if it didn't, these guys could all be charged with treason. So, you know, back in June 5th of 1933, you can look this up, you had to take all of your gold-backed currency, your silver, and your United States notes to a Federal Reserve Bank and exchange them for Federal Reserve notes, which, and then they gave you a Federal Reserve note, which is a promise to pay what? Promise to pay. It's a fiat debt currency, and when I say fiat, I mean they just print it out of thin air, basically. And that's not 100% true, but I'm not going to really get into that at this point. But the basis of the UCC 1 debt elimination derives from House Joint Resolution 192, in which the corporate U.S. Board of Directors, the Congress, removed from the flesh and blood men and women of the several states of America their substance with which they can pay for things, and replace it with fictitious money in the form of debt instruments called Federal Reserve notes. This created the exemption. So we all have an exemption to pay anything. But what has happened over time is nobody's actually told any of us this, and we've gotten in kind of this normalcy bias where things are just done a certain way, and everybody thinks this is the way it's done. We have to get back to what's really going on here. So essentially, the acceptance redemption debt elimination process obtains access to the trust account that the federal government has been using since your birth to monetize and pay off the national debt. They automatically made the government the trustee of that account and used your energy and talent to fund the national government. With your birth certificate sent from the state in which you were born, the Department of Treasury creates a constructive trust account that permits the corporate United States and all of the other subsidiary corporations, states, counties, cities, etc., to interact with you as a corporate fictitious entity. It's your name in all capital letters. They are fictitious public entities that cannot interact with you, the real living person. But they have convinced you, the living flesh and blood person, that they are referring to you. You have voluntarily accommodated this interaction on behalf of your fictitious entity, your corporation, which is your name in all capital letters. See, that's the real trick here. When you get something in the mail and it's your name in all capital letters, you think that's you. But you have to start understanding it's not you. This is a corporate fiction, and especially evidenced by the zip code, which is stating that this fictitious entity is residing in one of the federal zones, inside the federal zone, which is the District of Columbia, which is its own city-state. It's not part of the United States of America. It's like the inner city of London or the Vatican. They have their own constitution, their own set of rules, their own laws. They came in, basically, and fully took hold after the Civil War. But that's something that I think everybody should research. So by filing a UCC1 financial statement, and I'm going to get back up a little bit here, but when you turned 18, I mean, all this is fine. But my problem with it is they don't tell us it's going on. That's the real scam. But people have found out, and through my research, there's like millions of people that, rich elite type people that do this process. And because your estate was considered abandoned property and you never reclaimed it, you never had any awareness of it, so you didn't know that you could go and go, okay, and this is my estate, this is my inheritance from being an American. So by filing a UCC1 financing statement, security agreement, negotiable bill of exchange, and the Federal Reserve routing numbers with the fictitious corporate government entities, you separate yourself from that accommodation and take the position of the first creditor to the debtor. The debt belongs to the corporate you, but you, the real you, has been making the payments. Now you will stand first in line to utilize the collateral held in your trust account by the government. See, they're using it, and you need to use it. It's like, wait a second, I want to be using my stuff too, So, and it's using the trust account. What they have done, they can assign credit to the bank at which you, the fictitious entity, owe the debt. A simple transaction discharges that debt. Who can now complain that the debt is not satisfied? You have done what you have agreed to do, but the credit did not come from your checking account. It was a non-cash transaction in the public fiction of commerce under the Uniform Commercial Code. See, we're living under the Uniform Commercial Code now, because everything, the laws, statutes, and codes only apply to these fictional entities that they've falsely convinced us that is us. But it's just a huge money-making scheme. But it's not even really money, it's just debt. So everything is kind of upside down in the mirror image. I'll leave a link to this article down below. Won't make this too long, but if you're looking for more of this type of information, go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. Thanks, have a great day.